You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
There he goes for Sean Baker. One man to beat. Collier can't get him. Baker gives Victor the lead. Box. Headed by McQuaid, and in they score! The Braves get it back. Quick shot, and a score for San Diego. Wide open for Ozzie. He gets it. Touchdown, McQuaid. Punch, counter punch. Out of the shot, and a goal! Dribble handoff to Shatters. What do you think? Bang, Braves have it. Let's see, they shoot it, score!
Hello everybody and welcome to Letchworth High School, the site of tonight's Section 5 Class C state qualifier between C2 champ Oakfield-Alabama and C1 champ, the Avon Braves. My name is Alex Brasky alongside Coach Dan Dickens for the Varsity Media Sports Network. Excited to take you through the action tonight between the Braves and the Hornets. Before we get to the action, we'd like to thank our scoreboard sponsor for tonight's matchup, and that is, of course, Casella Waste. Casella, your #1 service provider for all your waste and recycling needs. Whether you're looking for a great price on residential service or a roll-off service for your place of business, call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. All right, so we're getting set here at Letchworth High School. Avon comes into this game at 21-3. Oakfield-Alabama at 22-1. Starting lineups for tonight's game for the Braves: Jack Brown, a forward; Michael Rowland, a guard; Lee Hartke, a guard; Andrew Rowland, a guard; and Zach Colvin, a forward. For Oakfield-Alabama, Kyle Porter, a guard; Cameron Kuzmano, a forward; Gage Armbruster, a forward; Jordan Schlegenoff, a forward; and Caden Kuzmano, also a forward. So we'll listen to the crowd welcoming both teams. We'll take in the national anthem, and then we'll hear from Coach Dickens give his thoughts on tonight's matchup. We'll be right back after the national anthem.
A few announcements before we get started. Tonight's state fire code requires us to tell you that in the event of emergency, you should exit the double doors at either end of the gym. And most important, remember,
We'll also hear the officials introduced here pregame at Letchworth High School. It's become a tradition here in the postseason. Done a couple games here, and it's a nice touch welcoming the officials to the floor.
To recognize those in our armed services and veterans as we rise for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, here we go. We're getting set for tip-off here at Letchworth High School. Before we get to Coach Dickens, we'd like to thank a few of our sponsors, beginning with The Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York. Dr. George Vito has over 30 years of experience, and he strives to deliver the best ankle and foot care in Western New York. Podiatry services for Leroy, Buffalo, Dunkirk, Angola, and Batavia. Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York has the physicians to turn to for reliable ankle and foot services in the area. Visit them online, ankleandfootcentersofwesternNewYork.com, or call today to find a location near you. Also, we'd like to thank the Caryville Inn. Looking for somewhere to have dinner on Tuesday nights? Good news. Starting April 5th, the Caryville Inn will be open for dinner starting at 4 p.m. Featuring Tuesday Pasta Night. Mark your calendars. We can't wait to see you there. Also, Competitive Edge basketball training now enrolling for Session 2. Hurry and register today for boys and girls 3rd through 12th grade sessions. Learn ball handling, offensive and defensive skills, shooting, and more. Register online through their Facebook page or visit them online, competitiveedgebasketball.org. Also, Empire Tractor, your local New Holland dealer, selling a full range of tractors and farm equipment. ET is also proud to sell Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers, which is the world's fastest mower, and they are now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Also, Maze Photography, mazephotography.shootproof.com. You can find action shots from Section 5 Sports. Don't miss out. Follow on Facebook and Instagram for a first look at new galleries as they're posted. At Maze Photo on Facebook and Instagram. Check out this season's galleries before they expire. Also, Special Tees. Do you need a new place to purchase team apparel? Make your team store Special Tees. From apparel and uniforms, merchandise, signs, and banners, they do it all. A local business in Geneseo, which has been providing quality custom apparel and promotional products since 1990. Special Tees, 243-1314. Also, Vonglis Enterprises, LLC is a fully insured company that offers free estimates for every job. Vonglis specializes in septic system installation and repairs along with waterline installation. Check them out on Facebook or call them at 585-471-4240. Also, Hudson Street Studios is based in Avon, New York, your leader in Glow Region sports photography. Visit them on Facebook, Hudson Street Studios. All right, we're getting set for action here at Letchworth. Coach Dickens, we welcome you into the broadcast. You know these teams well. You're an Oakfield alum. You coach against Avon every season. What do you expect from tonight's game? And if you want to throw in a prediction there, feel free.
Well, I think it has the makings for an outstanding game. As you can see with this atmosphere, both communities brought out a lot of people to support their teams. Both these teams have a lot of guys with some big-time game experience. Avon obviously has some great guard play. I think that one thing Oakfield really hasn't seen is a big man like Colvin in the middle. You know, he can cause a lot of problems for them, and I think for Avon, the length and athleticism that Oakfield presents for them is going to be different. You know, we don't have a whole lot of teams with length in Livingston County and this type of athleticism, and we have really good athletes, but, you know, we're talking about length that they just haven't seen, so I think whatever team handles that the best probably is going to have the upper hand in this one. I think this is going to go right down to the wire, and I'm excited for it.
Here we go, getting set for tip at Letchworth High School. Avon riding an 8-game win streak. OA riding a 5-game win streak. Ball is up. The Hornets come away with the opening possession. Quick out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Vonglis LLC. East Rochester leading the Pavilion girls 41-29 in that Class C qualifier in Section 5 girls basketball. That score update brought to you by Vonglis LLC. So on your Castellaway scoreboard, we're 20 seconds into this one. Is a foul called underneath? No, a jump ball. And possession will go to the Braves. Listen to this Braves student section. They're getting into it early. They were into it the other night when their Braves took down York, Class C3 champion, which, Coach, I'm sorry to bring up fresh wounds, but they took down Coach's Raiders in the Class C3 final, did the Knights before the Braves dispatched them in the Class C crossover game. Jack Brown from the short corner knocks it down, and the seal is broken here at Letchworth.
That's going to go the other way.
Offensive foul, Coach Dickens called it. Armbruster commits the foul, and foul trouble certainly something to be concerned with for both of these teams in such a big game.
Yeah, exactly. I think once you get to your bench in these games, or at least coaches tend to limit their rotation a little bit more in sectionals, especially this far than they would in the regular season. So foul trouble is going to play a role here. There's no doubt about that.
So Armbruster picks up his first early in the first quarter. Diving after it goes Lee Hartke. Oakfield-Alabama wanted a travel call.
They do like to let him play here in the sectionals, but I think they might have had a gripe there. But, you know, the ball was loose. It was right in front of Pulley-Blank.
Brian Pulley-Blank, fine official for Section 5. Is a good crew on the job here tonight. A foul called. Another against the Hornets. That's against Cam Kuzmano, his first. So 2 important players for the Hornets picking up their first foul a minute and 20 seconds into this game. Andrew Rowland headed to the line for Avon.
Andrew's a lights-out shooter. Typically, you don't see him miss free throws like that too often. I think this one he'll regroup. I can't see him missing the second one here. Well, I guess I was wrong there.
That trip to the line was brought to you by Hudson Street Studios, our free throw sponsor here tonight. I want to thank all our sponsors here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. It's been a fine season for Glow Region basketball teams. They've been well represented here in the sectional tournament, especially deep into the sectional tournament. Glow Region teams sweeping the Class Cs, getting close to doing so in the Class Ds, as inside Cameron Kuzmano gets OA on the board.
One of the things here with Avon zone, you have a 2-3 zone from Avon. I figured they would play them in that. You know, Oakfield's known for trying to get to the basket a little bit more than they are for their outside game. It's a much more active zone out of Avon than I think what they're used to seeing. And I think for Oakfield here, it just is a matter of getting into a little bit of rhythm. Like, they want to get some transition going. Right now it's been all half court, so that's why you're seeing a little low-scoring game to start.
Hartke tried to dump that one into Colvin, but it was knocked away out of bounds off the Braves, and the Hornets take over. Armbruster at the elbow. Into the corner for Porter.
Oh.
Missed everything. Rebound chased down by Andrew Rowland. 5.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. We're deadlocked at 2 apiece. Brown, he's accounted for all of the Braves scoring in the early going. Jack Brown, and a foul near midcourt. That's going to be called against Lee Hartke, as Armbruster was trying to chase down that pass.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying to get some of that transition game going there. Avon's ready for it. They're back. They're trying to jump that. I wouldn't be surprised you see Avon try to take a little bit of a charge on Armbruster to get him his second or another one, maybe at half court on an outlet pass.
On your Castellaway scoreboard, it's a 4-2 Avon lead. Armbruster inside, right back out to the other Kuzmano brother, Caden Kuzmano, is Porter down the lane. He's fouled. He'll head to the line for 2 shots. Quick note on Porter, a multi-sport athlete, cross country, basketball, and baseball. Works at the pizzeria in Oakfield, so he's flipping pies in his off time, Coach.
Yeah, I know something about that.
Porter off the mark. Maybe some early game jitters here being worked out for each side of the free throw line?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys all played in the sectional final, but this is a chance to go on and represent your section in the state qualifier, the Far West Regional. So there's a little more here. I'm sure they'll loosen up here a couple more minutes, and we'll get into some real good basketball, a little bit more fundamentally sound.
That trip to the line brought to you by Hudson Street Studios.
It's pretty good defense right there.
2 Kuzmano brothers. Colvin seeing double in the post. Rowland, a lot of contact along the baseline. Official lets it go, as Coach Dickens alluded to, and the Braves are going to keep it underneath.
I think that's one of those, it's probably a block, but let's just give the ball to Avon and let these guys, decide the game themselves out there. Avon runs that play there, and Colvin will fake it and try to spin back. So it looks like Oakfield was ready for it.
Brown with the hot hand in the early going. 6 points for the Braves senior forward. And Avon with a 4-point advantage nearing the midpoint of this first quarter. Kuzmano down the lane. Beautiful bounce pass into Jordan Schlegenoff. He can't get the finish. And Colvin on the rebound. Another out-of-town scoreboard update brought to you by Vonglas LLC. Newark leading Wellsville in the Class B crossover game, 37-34 in the fourth quarter. So a tight game going on there. a tag game going on here as Colton Yassis checks in for OA, and Jordan Schlegenoff will take a seat. 4:09 remaining in the first quarter. Avon leads it by 4. Armbruster on the wing. Kuzmano. Oh. Back skip to Armbruster, and a little over aggressive from Brown. A foul called against the Braves.
I'm telling you, Alex, this 2-3 zone that Avon's presenting for Oakfield's really limiting their ability to get some good open shots. Like, there's 2 or 3 guys every time somebody drives.
Armbruster down the lane, off his leg, out of bounds. Avon will take over. The defense certainly a point of emphasis for both of these teams, obviously down the stretch, but Oakfield-Alabama, that's really been what's carried them all season. Hoping to really set the tone on that end of the floor, and they have, but just have failed to get the buckets needed to keep pace with the Braves, and an offensive foul. Michael Rowland, the culprit. Caden Kuzmano taking the charge, and we're going the other way. So you see it there. OA sacrificing the body. They'll do whatever it takes on the defensive end, coach, and as a coach, that's something that you have to love to coach every day.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, you don't see many teams still playing that don't really give it all on on the defensive end. I mean, both these teams do. Both well coached, get after it on the defense. I'm sure that they're, really focused on trying to make them beat them from the outside first, but contest everything. Even Armbruster drives. There's 3 guys in great position. I think, that's going to be Michael's second. He's a big part for them out there. So let's see what Freeze does with him.
Rowland picks up 2 quick ones. The younger of the Rowland brothers. That is, of course, Michael Rowland. He's a sophomore, averaging 9 points per game this season as Armbruster misses the first free throw. This trip to the line brought to you by Hudson Street Studios. Rowland, 5 sectional titles between 3 sports already as a sophomore. Plays football, baseball, and basketball. His brother Andrew on the team, of course. He also plays football, baseball, and basketball, and both of them won sectionals in all 3 sports.
Yeah, that's impressive.
This past season, last year, Andrew's junior season, Michael's freshman season, as Armbruster knocks down the free throw to cut it to a 3-point game. But the Rowland brothers have really been a mainstay in this Braves program and have helped power Avon to 3 straight sectional titles under head coach Rob Freeze in his 15th season at the helm of the Avon boys basketball program, as Brown misses a jumper from the elbow, but Colvin secures the offensive rebound inside.
Just one more thing on that, Alex. I think when you watch these Rolling kids play, they play with great character out there.
Brown from the corner, he's on fire in the early going, really leading this Avon team.
You just see those guys, even their older brother Nick, who was a senior the last time they won it, or the first time they won it out of that 3. Just great kids on the floor, play hard, don't complain. I know Rob thinks the world of all 3 of them.
Yeah, he certainly speaks glowingly of that family as Oakfield-Alabama just can't get the lid off the basket. And it's a 5-point deficit nearing the 2-minute mark, and that's a travel coming up against Colvin. He had a nice box out on the other end, and that's really what it's going to take from Avon to keep OA off the glass. They're going to have to put a body on these athletes, and that's what Coach Freeze said to me in a pregame conversation. He says the key to the game for Avon tonight is keep OA off the glass, get good shots against their defense, and so far they're getting good shots, all of which are coming from Jack Brown, but so far so good for Coach Freeze's bunch as they lead it by 5 with 2:09 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, I talked with Coach Freeze about the sectional final game, and they really were happy with the way Jack Brown played. Last game I thought they got a lot of good production from Hudson Volpe off the bench, and it looks like it's Brown's turn again tonight because right now he's got all 8 of their points and has looked very solid. He's a good mid-range jumper. I know that's what we had on our scouting report on him.
So this timeout brought to you by the Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York, and on the Casella Way scoreboard, it's an 8-3 Avon lead. 2:09 remaining in this first quarter of the Class C State Qualifier. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens here with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. It's been an exciting start to this game. Two solid coaching staffs squaring off. On the other bench, opposite Coach Freeze, we have Ryan Steller, back-to-back champions as head coach, or back-to-back champion, excuse me, as head coach of the Hornets. In his 9th season, a 66% winning percentage for Coach Steller. Helped lead OA to its first title since 1975 last season. And a quick note, Coach Dickens was his JV football coach.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, Alex, but that's very true.
Sorry to date you, Coach.
Yeah, no, I see what you're doing here.
Well, that was something he pointed out to me during a pregame discussion, and Coach Steller has really put the time in, and as you know, Coach, that's really what it takes for a varsity coach to turn a program from not consistent relevancy to being a consistent contender every single season, and he's really put the time in with this group in the offseason and during the season as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you get to this point, you see the coaches that are there every year that put the time in, summer, give up a lot of things. Oakfield finally gets a free throw to fall. They've been struggling there. They're going to be in the bonus the rest of the first half, so that could be a big difference for them if they can make some free throws.
Big if, the way this game has started, but Oakfield-Alabama, like I said, perhaps working out some first quarter jitters and only down by 4, but a 3 from Colvin looking to extend that lead. He's off the mark, and Cam Kuzmano on the rebound. Here comes Armbruster the other way inside, can't get the finish. A second try, a third try. No good. And it goes to Kuzmano, the long rebound. And he puts his hand to the floor as if to signal to his teammates to slow down and calm down. They need a bucket here, or a field goal. They've been hard to come by in the early going for both teams, but specifically the Hornets. Into the corner for Kuzmano.
That's 2 on him.
And another foul called against Cameron Kuzmano, so foul trouble for both sides. We said it in the early going, and it's proved to be true. It's definitely played a role and will continue to as this game goes along, as Braden Smith checking into this game for the Hornets.
Hey, Oakfield's pressure really hasn't got to Avon. I mean, Andrew's been really calm, bringing the ball up. I think that, that's a big part for Avon. They're not going to turn the ball over. Now we get a little touch foul here, but.
So a foul called against the Hornets. That one called on Porter. So we'll stay with the Braves here on the side. Inside a minute to go in the first quarter. Josh Harder set to inbound. His father owns one of our sponsors, one of the businesses sponsoring tonight's broadcast, Competitive Edge Basketball. Former head coach at Spencerport back in the day, his father. So big thank you to the Harder family. And joining the Harders in that endeavor is a teammate of Harder's. As a tie-up inside, emotions running high. It's a little bit of a stare down between the two seniors, and it will stay. No, we're going the other way. Going to the Hornets here.
Yeah, just talk a little bit about Harder here as a freshman. He's getting a lot of experience playing with some really good upperclassmen. He's going to learn a lot from. I know that's one of the things that I like to do is bring up some younger kids, and all this experience is just going to help him a lot over these next 3 years. I mean, he is a great shooter. If you watched him in warm-ups, just the ball, it's so smooth out of his release, and I think, you see him out there barking orders to the rest of these guys, and he's a freshman, and you like to see that leadership out of guys as the moment's not too big for him.
Certainly takes on the identity of a coach's kid, a coach on the floor at a young age, and that teammate of his who has joined his father in that endeavor, Competitive Edge Basketball, Trevor Stroud, a fellow youngster on this team, a fellow freshman, is Rowland from midcourt off the top of the basket, out of bounds. We head to the end of the first quarter. And it's a 4-point lead for the Braves. Once again, we'd like to thank a few of our sponsors here tonight, and beginning with the Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York. Dr. George Vito has over 30 years of experience striving to deliver the best ankle and foot care in Western New York. That's Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York. Call today or find a location near you. Also, the Caryville Inn. Are you looking for somewhere to have a dinner on Tuesday nights? Good news. Starting April 5th, the Caryville Inn will be open on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Featuring Tuesday Pasta Night. Mark your calendars. We can't wait to see you there. Also, Competitive Edge basketball training. We've talked plenty about it on the broadcast. Now enrolling for session 2. Hurry and register today for boys and girls 3rd through 12th grade. I'll tell you about a few more of our sponsors here as we go along through our broadcast, but we enter the second quarter of play. It's a 4-point lead for the Braves here in the Class C state qualifier. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Coach, it's been a good game thus far and a low-scoring game, as is often the case early on in these sectional games. Teams working out the early game jitters, and we have a 4-point margin separating two of the best teams in Class C over the past several years. Your impressions of that first quarter?
Well, I think if Avon gets some of their other guys that have scored for them all season going, like, you know, they could open up a pretty good-sized lead here. I mean, Jack Brown's a good player, but if you would have told Coach Freeze he'd score all their points in the first quarter, I think he'd be a little concerned. Fortunately, they're playing some great defense. Oakfield seems a little tight. There we go.
Harkey down the lane line, finishes at the rim. The role players getting it done for the Braves here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you get out of other guys to step up, that's big time. Ooh.
Porter flailing to the ground and a defensive foul coming up against the Braves. The Braves sideline wanted a offensive foul as Volpe put his body in position, but the officials deemed there wasn't enough contact to draw the offensive foul, and instead Porter will head to the line as the Hornets are in the bonus here. 7:27 remaining in the second quarter.
I think you see both these teams are well coached for playing good defense, trying to take charges. Those are big plays in the game. So some of these, it's a tough call on the officials. They got to decide which ones to let go, which ones to call. You know, a lot of times it's advantage, disadvantage in those situations.
Another free throw miss for the Hornets. Troubles at the free throw line for OA, and that has led to their offensive struggles as well. Harkey, deep three, and it's good! Lee Harkey heating up, and the Braves are ahead by 9. What a game from both Jack Brown and Lee Harkey. They've accounted for all 13 of Avon's points, as OA really needs to get things going here. Armbruster down the lane, shuffles it over to Yasis. Back to Armbruster. He's short on the finish. Armbruster can't get it to go, but Kuzmano cleans it up, and it's now a 7-point game with 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Rowland spinning through the lane, contested layup, out of bounds, off of Oakfield. It will stay with Avon.
I think that's that athleticism we're talking about. You know, somebody gets beat on there. I think he's expecting to have a free shot, and a guy comes over for outside defense and there to block it.
It's been a defensive struggle in the early going. There's another sub into the game for OA here. Bodie Hyde, a sophomore guard. And a rejection at the rim, but a foul called. As this one could be on Armbruster, and it is. That's his second. 6:09 remaining in the second. And I believe we're seeing a sub come on for the senior forward. Schlagenoff at the table, ready to check in for Armbruster. This trip to the line brought to you by Hudson Street Studios. Another update brought to you by Vonglis LLT on our out-of-town scoreboard. After one quarter of play in the Class D state qualifier, as a foul called on OA on the rebound. But an update from that Class D state qualifier, ND tied with Avoca Prattsburgh. That's Notre Dame tied with Avoca Prattsburgh, 19-19 after the first quarter. But 2 minutes into the second quarter, Avoca Prattsburgh an 8-0 run to begin that frame, and they now lead it 27-19 on our out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Vonglis LLC. So another foul called against the Hornets. Now Avon's in the bonus. That's Hyde's first, as Andrew Rowland is headed to the line.
Oakfield's depth's about to get tested real quickly here as Andrew Rollins really not had many opportunities to drive to the hoop that clean. I think he's taking advantage of going after some of these backups. They're going to have to step up their game a little bit.
So Stroud now into the game, the aforementioned Stroud. As he checks in for Hartke. This trip to the line brought to you by Hudson Street Studios. And another update on the Vonglis out-of-town scoreboard. The Pavilion girls have fallen 56-42. Offensive foul. Volpe takes the charge. Smith commits the foul. And we're going the other way. The Braves really selling out on defense here. But as I said on that out-of-town scoreboard, the Pavilion girls' run ends in the Class C state qualifier. 56-42, they lose to East Rochester. Great run from the Gophers, a junior-led group. So expect them to be back next season. A few seniors on their team, but also plenty of talent coming back for Pavilion in Class C. Stroud too long on the three-pointer. Rebound chased down by Yasis.
You just see them squaring them up each
Mono,
time.
and that's another offensive foul. The Hornets putting their shoulders down at the rim. The Braves getting in position. And that must have been on the scouting report for Coach Freeze. With the aggressiveness and the athleticism for this Oakfield-Alabama team, he must have told his players, get to the paint, get in position, plant your feet, take the charge, and it's worked out here in the early going.
Yeah, I think Rob definitely had a game plan about making them beat you from the outside and taking away their aggressiveness. And, I mean, they've just been setting up shop, and, you know, those have been pretty easy calls, to be honest with you.
Colvin, guarded closely by Smith. And they're an offensive foul. You get a charge, you get a charge, you get a charge. It's like we're watching Oprah here with charges.
Well, I think sometimes when we get to this point, when we have the three-man crew we're not used to seeing, I mean, that's their call. They get a better view on it here in these games instead of during the regular season. And I know, you know, these are three excellent officials, and I mean, I got screened on that one from up here, so I'm not sure, but, you know, Devin's one of, if not the best official they have on board 60. So, I mean, we're going to go with it.
Offensive fouls galore here at Letchworth High School. Guzmano from the corner missed everything, but Schlagenhoff, Johnny on the spot for the offensive rebound. Smith, another try from beyond the arc, and Colvin secures the defensive rebound for the Braves. Colvin, the first ever 1,000-point scorer in Avon boys basketball history. Just did that a few days ago against York, and looking to add to his career point total in his senior season. As a little helter-skelter here and a travel called against Stroud rolling around on the loose ball. But as I said with Colvin, he's been a mainstay for Coach Freeze in this program, a member of 3 straight sectional championship teams. He's really been a solid force, both offensively and defensively. Coach Freeze terms him one of the hardest workers he's ever had in his program, and he'll be honored in the Ronald McDonald All-Star game late in March. Smith off the mark, Volpe on the rebound.
I'll tell you, Alex, having to coach against him for 4 years, he is just a great kid, works hard out there. I did not know that he was the only 1,000-point scorer for that great program they have over there, though.
All right, so this timeout brought to you by the Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York, but we'd also like to thank Empire Tractor, your local New Holland dealer, selling a full range of tractors and farm equipment. Empire Tractor is proud to sell Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers, which is the world's fastest mower. And they are now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Also, Maze Photography, action shots from Section 5 Sports. Don't miss out. Follow on Facebook and Instagram for a first look at new galleries as they're posted. Also, Special Tees. Need a new place to purchase team apparel? Make your new team store Special Tees, 243-1314. Special Tees in Geneseo. All right, we're back here at Letchworth High School on the Casella Way scoreboard. 3:54 remaining in the second quarter. It's an 8-point lead for Avon. Oakfield-Alabama they can't find anything to get their rhythm going offensively in the early going.
No, I mean, they're really struggling. They're going to try a 1-3-1 here, it looks like, try to disrupt Avon a little bit. Just before the possession down there, I noticed that Rob's sticking with, Coach Freeze is going to stick with Zach Colvin in the game with 2, unlike the Oakfield. Interesting, he put Colvin on the top of a 2-3 zone, which I couldn't believe that I saw that. But, you know, it's a good way of keeping him from getting his third foul.
Colvin in the lane, finishes, and it's now a 10-point lead for Avon.
Man, there's some length out there for Avon right now with Colvin up top.
You see Andrew Rowland, Volpe, and Brown underneath, and Stroud joins Colvin on the top of that zone. Smith, wing three, no good. Schlagenoff, another offensive rebound, but he missed the rim on the putback, and a foul called against the Hornets. We'll see who this one goes against. It's against Braden Smith.
I don't think he needed to take the dribble there. It gave him a worse angle, and it brought him to a defender. But, you know, trying to make a play here, Oakfield's just struggling. They're going to have to get somebody in there that's able to make a couple buckets for them, or this thing's going to be all Avon here by halftime.
Yeah, certainly dangerous territory already for Oakfield-Alabama, trailing by 10 with 3:06 remaining in the second quarter. Coach Freeze, like Coach Dickens alluded to, can't love the fact that most of his points are coming from role players, but then again, that's the way this game has gone. You're seeing Smith take some shots from the outside for the Hornets, typically not one of their leading scorers. Schlagenoff getting plenty of opportunities. Porter, Yasis. We thought to begin this game it was going to come down to role players, and in the early going, it has, with Hartke and Brown leading the way for the Braves. So it's now an 11-point lead after one of two free throws from Colvin. That trip to the line brought to you by Hudson Street Studios. Porter, corner three, no good.
I'll tell you, Alex, it gets a little contagious here, man. When people are making threes, it's easy for others to make them. But right now, everybody's struggling and squeezing a little bit for Oakfield. So that rim gets real tight at this point. I mean, the one fortunate thing for Oakfield is they've only given up 17 points here with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. So they're not out of this.
Sub coming on for Avon. Colvin takes a break. Dylan Smith, the senior forward, into the game for the Braves. And this pace of play just is not where OA is comfortable. They like to run and gun. They like to beat you in transition and put up points in a hurry. They've had to rely on their jump shooting game, and it's proved challenging for them in the early going as Stroud had traveled there, and the Hornets will take over here. But somehow they need to create that pace. And Coach, you're a team that your team also has liked to run it and gun it over the years. And when you find yourself trapped in a game like this where Avon has slowed the game down to a crawl and forced Oakfield to shoot jump shots, how do you reignite the pace that you want it to be at?
I mean, you've got to try to do something to pick this pace up with turnovers, whether it's a press or some trapping. But, I mean, these aren't kids that are used to being out there having to guard players as skilled as what Avon has, and that's why they're unable to get some of that going. I mean, you know, it ultimately is going to have to come down. Somebody's going to have to score some points here to loosen things up.
Carter travel as another sub has come on for the Hornets. Aiden Warner now into the game for Oakfield-Alabama.
Coach Freeze really wanted Harder to shoot that ball. I mean, you know, you just had turnover from back-to-back freshmen there. These guys can shoot the ball, but, you know, this is some different athletes they're going against as well.
What do they say as a coach? When you pass up and a good look, it's as bad as a miss, huh?
Yeah. I mean, and the way he shoots the ball, I see why Rob is pretty upset with him there.
I think I might have butchered that saying, but it's something along those lines.
Hey, there they go. That might get something going.
Finally, Kuzmano from beyond the arc. Caden Kuzmano knocks down the three, nodding his head, trying to get this team going. Harder looking for the answer, but now the Hornets are on the run.
See, they're setting up for charges there. They had 3 guys in the paint.
Yasis, dribble drive, kicks it out to Kuzmano, and OA forced to reset here. 1:11 remaining in the second quarter. It's an 8-point Avon lead.
Oh, boy.
Deep three, no good. Rowland, a leaping rebound. Inside a minute to go now. Harder may have traveled again, but no call.
Nice
Volpe
pass.
along the baseline, and he gets the finish. So Avon back to a 10-point lead. 35 seconds remain in this second quarter. About 4 seconds separate the game clock and the shot clock.
Oh.
Yasis inside. Oakfield-Alabama starting to find itself down the stretch of this second quarter. as they've cut it to 8 once again. Yasis applying the pressure, knocks it away from Rowland. A 10-second call coming up.
Yeah, he got it.
He calls it. The official rules 10 seconds against the Braves, and OA starting to speed things up here with 12 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They have a chance to cut the lead even more here as time is winding down, as a sub has come on for the Braves. For the first time tonight, we're seeing Caden Colt, a junior guard, to close out the second quarter defensively for Avon. Into the corner, Porter along the baseline to the rim. Nice pump fake, but he can't get the finish. Volpe knocks it out of bounds. Time expires in the second quarter. We head to halftime. 19-11 on the Casella Way scoreboard. The Braves lead it over the Hornets. Listen to this crowd, folks, at Letchworth High School. What an environment here in the Section 5 Class C State Qualifier. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We'd also like to thank Vonglis Enterprises, LLC, which is a fully insured company that offers free estimates for every job. They specialize in septic system installation and repairs, along with waterline installation. Check them out on Facebook or call them at 471-4240. Also, Hudson Street Studios is based in Avon, New York, and is your leader in the Glow region for sports photography. Visit Hudson Street Studios on Facebook. Also, the Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York. Dr. George Vito has over 30 years of experience striving to deliver the best ankle and foot care in Western New York. Podiatry services for Leroy, Buffalo, Dunkirk, Angola, and Buffalo. Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York. We're going to send it to a quick break here at Letchworth High School. Alex Brasky, Coach Dan Dickens with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open, Perazzi. He gets it. Perazzi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it. Touchdown. Punch, power punch.
Little trickery. Ryder gets it back. Goes over the top for Haberman. What a catch!
Just Ross Simmons strips him. That's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it. Touchdown. Touchdown East.
If you're interested in staying involved with the sports you've enjoyed over the years, we may have an opportunity for you. Section 5 Athletics is currently looking for officials for several sports. Serving as a Section 5 official provides a great way to stay active, contribute to the sports you love, and earn money while making your own schedule. Visit section5.org/officials for more information and to express your interest.
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game. How can your team stand out from the crowd? Contact Varsity Media today and let us tailor something your squad will never forget. These are the best times of your life. Capture them in the most creative ways possible with the sports leader, Varsity Media. Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
All right, and we're back here at Letchworth High School on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens with you here for the Section 5 Class C State Qualifier. Avon with an 8-point lead over Oakfield-Alabama at the break. Before we get started here in the second half, we'd first like to thank our remaining sponsors, beginning with the Caryville Inn. Are you looking for somewhere to have dinner on Tuesday nights? Good news, starting on April 5th, the Caryville Inn will be open for dinner on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. featuring Tuesday Pasta Night. Mark your calendars. We can't wait to see you there. Also, Competitive Edge basketball training now enrolling for Session 2. Hurry and register today for boys and girls 3rd through 12th grade. Learn ball handling, offensive and defensive skills, shooting, and more. Register online through their Facebook page or visit at their website, competitiveedgebasketball.org. Also, Empire Tractor, your local New Holland dealer, selling a full range of tractors and farm equipment. Empire Tractor is also proud to sell Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers, which is the world's fastest mower, and they are now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Also, Mays Photography, action shots from Section 5 Sports. Don't miss out. Follow on Facebook and Instagram at Mays Photo, and check out new galleries as they're posted. Also, Special Tees. Do you need a new place to purchase team apparel? Make your new team store Special Tees. From apparel and uniforms, merchandise, signs and banners, they do it all. A local business in Geneseo, which has been providing quality custom apparel and promotional products since 1990. Special Tees, 243-1314, or contact them at orders@specialtees1.com. Also, Vonglis Enterprises LLC, a fully insured company that offers free estimates for every job. Vonglis specializes in septic system installation, and repairs, along with waterline installation. Check them out on Facebook or call them at 471-4240. Also, Hudson Street Studios, based in Avon, your leader in Glow Region sports photography. Visit them on Facebook, Hudson Street Studios. All right, and we're back here at Letchworth High School on your Casella Way scoreboard. It's a 19-11 Avon lead, 2:20 remaining in the halftime break. We'll give you a quick Vonglis out-of-town scoreboard update. Avoca Prattsburgh leading Notre Dame in the Class D state qualifier 36-27 at halftime. That was a tie game after the first quarter, but an 8-0 run from Avoca Prattsburgh helped AP open up an 8-point lead over Notre Dame. And now they lead it by 9 at the break. That is the Vonglis LLC out-of-town scoreboard. So, we're getting ready for third quarter action here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Alex Brasky alongside Coach Dan Dickens. And Coach, Why don't you give us your impressions of that first half? Obviously a low-scoring first half, particularly for Oakfield-Alabama. They just have not been able to get anything going.
Yeah, I think when the coaches go into the locker room and they're going to come up with some plans here for the second half, I mean, Oakfield's got to get Gage Armbruster, Cameron Kuzmano going. Like, those are, two very good high school basketball players. And for Avon to hold them both scoreless, I believe, don't quote me on that. Coach Freeze has got to be extremely happy with, going into halftime, not allowing those two to have any points. Oakfield's got to think they're still in this, though. I mean, they're only down 8. Like, I can't imagine that they played a worse offensive half this year. So being down 8 points is nothing, right? Especially with a team that can get points in bunches. So I think we're going to have a great ending to the second half. Hopefully everybody's got those nerves out. We want kids to go out and just play their best. That's what's going to make this a great basketball game here. I mean, whoever wins this is going to go on and play. It looks like Salamanca's over to our left here watching. And I think, whoever goes on is going to represent Section 5 in a great manner here. And I'm looking forward to a great second half. I mean, hopefully both teams come out a little bit more loose and, we get some good entertainment. I know both sides of the stands here are rooting for a great second half as well.
All right, here we go. We're ready for the third quarter between Avon and Oakfield-Alabama. The winner advancing to the Far West Regional to take on Section 6 Class C champion Salamanca, who Coach Dickens alluded to, is right to our left. Perhaps doing a little bit of scouting on whichever team comes away as a winner here tonight. Kyle Porter from the wing, around the rim and out. And a leaping rebound for Zach Colvin. Here come the Braves. Colvin from the wing. Good! That one around the rim and in, as the Braves have had the shooters roll, and they lead it by 11 here in the third quarter. Inside to Schlagenoff. Shuffles it over to Kuzmano. Along the baseline, back to Schlagenoff in the corner. Around the rim and out. It's been that kind of night for the Hornets. Rowland down the lane, bouncer to Brown. Had Hartke streaming down the lane, but couldn't get it to him. Colvin off the back iron, and Kuzmano secures the rebound. We saw Armbruster there on the near side calling for it. He's had a tough start to this game. There's plenty of easy layups at the rim. Not easy particularly, but makeable layups. There's another foul called against Armbruster. That's his third. And another charge taken by this Braves defense.
I didn't see which one took that for Avon, but I have noticed that they have Michael Rowland in the middle of their 2-3 zone, a little unconventional use of their zone here by Coach Freeze. Obviously, probably one of their better charge takers, and that's a point of emphasis here for Avon. They take another one on them.
Hartke from the corner pulls the trigger, and it's good. The Braves hot from the perimeter here to begin the third quarter. OA goes quickly on the other end, and Armbruster another miss at the rim. And as I said, not easy looks for Armbruster. I misspoke for sure, but certainly makeable baskets that he's had the potential to put in there, and he hasn't been able to come up with them. The Braves continue their hot streak, and they lead it by 13 to begin this third quarter. 6:03 remaining in the frame. We head to a Western New York Ankle and Foot Center's timeout. What a start to this quarter for Avon. It's really been all Braves here tonight. Oakfield not getting the benefit of the rolls here to start the second half, and Armbruster just can't find the bottom of the net when he's in the lane. Good contest from these Braves forwards inside, but those are baskets that he usually knocks down.
Yeah, I've seen him over the years make those consistently. The tough thing here for Oakfield is you go in down only 8, try to be positive in all these things in the locker room, and come out and give up the first 8 points of the game or the second half here. I mean, that's can be demoralizing. So Oakfield's going to have their character tested here for sure.
Kuzmano with it in the corner. Back up to Armbruster. He almost threw it away, but Porter able to snare it out of the air. Schlagenoff inside to Kuzmano. Down the lane, dribbles it off his leg. Colvin ends up with it. Michael Rowland having a fine start to this second half defensively.
Oh.
Took a charge and was in there on the strip on Kuzmano. Brown had that one knocked away, and Cameron Kuzmano brings it up the floor for the Hornets. Porter attacking the rim.
Another one.
And that's a blocking foul, as it appeared as if Andrew Rowland, a little bit of a flop there, is I think a good call from the official.
Yeah, I think from this point you can see he tried to go down before the contact was made.
So coming on now for OA is Colton Yassis. Yassis, a three-sport athlete as well for this OA team, cross-country, basketball, and baseball. Older brother Peyton, a former standout three-sport athlete for the Hornets. As Schlagenhoff, finally OA gets a roll, and first points of the second half of the Hornets. They cut it to a 14-point Avon advantage with 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
You got to take it one possession at a time when you find yourself down 16. There's no 16-point basket, that's for sure.
Hartke missed a three. Yassis on the rebound. Porter the other way. Rowland sacrificing the body. Offensive foul. Boy, the Braves fundamentally sound when taking those charges. They really let their body go limp upon contact, and really their head becomes an anchor, and they just fall to the floor, shoulders first, and that makes it an easy call for the officials.
I think that was Andrew again. That might be his fourth he's taken tonight. I mean, it was just a teammate, a great teammate. Like I said, I mean, willing to sell out for his team by taking these charges because they don't, it hurts a little bit.
Michael Rowland to the bucket after his brother Andrew takes the charge on the other end. Rowland starting to get started.
Yeah, that's the right call there too by Pulley. I mean, he's right there, but he's flopping a little bit on that one.
So 16-point lead for Avon now. It's largest of the game with 4:23 remaining in the third quarter. Kuzmano for three. Cameron Kuzmano off the mark. Armbruster went tumbling to the floor. And now Andrew Rowland will bring it up for the Braves. It's getting late early, as they say, for Oakfield-Alabama.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is start looking at that clock, but I mean, that first 4 minutes just went by fast, and that lead went from 8 to 16, so they got to make something happen here soon.
There, a foul called against Cameron Kuzmano, his third. A lot of foul trouble to go around here tonight. Brown secures the inbound, now to Rowland. Over to the other Rowland, Michael Rowland, no good. Armbruster leads the break. Porter in transition. Perhaps that could be the spark for the Hornets. 14-point lead for Avon, 3:45 remaining in the third.
You know, long rebounds lead to some breaks sometimes. Oakfield took advantage of that one. A good finish by Porter.
Rowland to Rowland on the perimeter. Now into the corner for Hartke. Andrew Rowland into Zach Colvin. Now Michael Rowland tries another three around the rim and out. Armbruster, a strong rebound, and he's on the run now. Nice Euro step at the rim. Count it. Mini spurt here for the Hornets. 3:19 remaining in the third. OA on the come up. 12-point lead for Avon. Armbruster could cut it to 11 with a made free throw.
That's a big shot here for him. This maybe will get Gage going a little bit. I mean, again, you have another long shot, long rebound, leads for an Oakfield run out and a little advantage, and Armbruster's able to finish there with some contact.
So that's Michael Rowland's third of this game. He'll take a seat. Volpe comes on. Armbruster misses the free throw. 12-point lead for Avon. Oakfield finding a little bit of momentum. Coach Freeze sensing that, and he'll call for a timeout. This timeout brought to you by the Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York. Dr. George Vito, 30 years of experience. There's no need to suffer with ankle and foot problems. Your hometown foot and ankle care is now in Batavia. Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York. Also, the Caryville Inn, located at 25 Main Street in Oakfield, 948-9780. Great place for dinner. Great atmosphere, the Caryville Inn in Oakfield. Also, Competitive Edge basketball training. Josh Harder, owned and operated by Josh Harder. CompetitiveEdgeBasketball.org is their website, 233-4004. So here we go, back to Letchworth High School on the Casella Way scoreboard. It's a 12-point Braves lead, approaching the 3-minute mark here in the third quarter. Rowland down the lane, kicks it out, tipped by Porter, rolling out of bounds. It will stay with Avon. And the Oakfield-Alabama faithful up in arms about that call, but that's the right call. This one should stay with Avon as it was tipped by Porter.
Yeah, I mean, you get sometimes straight line there. The last thing he wants to do is make a quick call and be wrong. I mean, he's just looking for help. I mean, there's 3 of them out there. They got it right. That's the most important thing.
So here's Avon with it now, inside 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Andrew Rowland feeds it over to Colvin, now into the corner for Volpe. Back out to Colvin. Shot clock expires. Oakfield-Alabama's defense, slowly but surely, starting to show some flashes here.
Yeah, I think that's a great stop there. I think that's a little uncharacteristic out of Avon to not have a idea on the shot clock, but you know, it happens. They took that timeout a little bit, and I'm sure that threw them off a little.
Here's OA now looking to continue their mini run. They've cut it down to 12. Likely looking to cut it to 8 or lower to end this quarter.
It's a good rebound there.
Yasis has been tough on the boards. Armbruster. Nice jump stop, but had it knocked away by Rowland. Nice active hands from the senior guard. Kuzmano probing for room inside, and a foul called against Avon. So Cameron Kuzmano, headed to the line here for the Hornets. This trip to the line brought to you by Hudson Street Studios.
It's a good use of his pivot foot there to be patient. I will tell you, though, it seems like there's 4 Andrew Rollins out there because that guy is all over the floor on defense, taking charges, deflecting the ball, closing out, stopping people from going to the hoop. What a big advantage for Coach Freeze to have a player like that. It's the same with the three-point shooting too, Alex. That's when your team's making them, it's easy to make them, but once people start missing, everybody starts missing, it seems. They've got to have somebody step up and make these.
So Cameron Kuzmano 1 for 2 from the line. Now Andrew Rowland will lead the Braves' possession. Around the horn to Hartke. Elbow to Colvin. Beautiful bounce pass to Volpe, but Kuzmano was there to close the door. Yasis on the other end to the rim. A blocking foul called against the Braves. We'll see who this one's ruled against. And it goes against Andrew Rowland. Does Yasis head to the line here? No. That one will stay on the floor for OA, as they'll take it underneath here with 1:52 remaining in the third quarter.
I think once you hear that whistle, just throw the ball up in the air. I mean, get to the line. I mean, chance to make 2, who knows? Maybe they have a great out-of-bounds play here, but, you know, it's a big final 2 minutes here, 1:52 for Oakfield.
11-point lead for the Braves. OA looking to work their way back, trailed by as many as 16. Group of seniors looking to keep their run going. These are 2 teams that know each other very well, not in basketball. As Armbruster's fouled, but on the football field, Coach. They've met in sectionals and during the regular season on the football field each of the past 2 seasons, and really a respected rivalry, but still no love lost between these 2 teams when they lock horns on the playing surface. Plenty of these players, multi-sport athletes in football and basketball. Oakfield-Alabama beat Avon in the Class D title game during football season, and the Braves looking to perhaps give them a taste of their own medicine here in the Class C state qualifier as Armbruster knocks down a free throw.
You know what? It's no coincidence. You see teams that have success in the fall. A lot of those same players have success in the winter. The people that put in hard work, get in the weight room, which obviously both teams do by looking at their physiques. You know, there's a reason why they're playing this far.
Armbruster 2 of 2 from the line. That trip brought to you by Hudson Street Studios. Rowland stops, pops, and Avon ends an abbreviated drought. That Rowland jumper able to get the Braves back in the scoring column and back to an 11-point advantage. Guzmano down the lane, bull in the China shop, no call, and possession will go back to Avon.
See, Coach Freeze wants something, and his assistant Brady Sass, who I coach, who graduated in 2013 for me over on his sideline, they've got a set they want to run here. Looks like they're trying to get Colvin. No, they're going outside with him.
5 out for the Braves there. Volpe ducked inside, and now Armbruster ducked into the passing lane. Away on the other end. No good, no foul. The Hornets wanted the foul call, but Coach Steller pleading with his team to remain composed and not take on the energy provided from the incredible fan contingent here from Oakfield-Alabama. What a group on the opposite side of the gym, joining a fantastic group on the near side brought by the Braves faithful.
Well, they're going to have a chance to cut it to under 10 again here going into, the fourth quarter. I think this is where Avon's usually really good at the end of quarters. They're going to come down and probably settle for the last shot. So these are 2 big free throws here for Yasis.
37 seconds remaining in the third. Yasis knocks down the first free throw. Subs coming on for the Braves. Andrew Rowland and Zach Colvin back into the game. Harder and Volpe will take a break. Back down to a 10-point Braves lead. Hornets looking to make one last run here to keep their season alive. Yasis, 2 for 2 from the line. He's as steady as they go, isn't he?
He's given us some great minutes. At the end of the first half, he turned over Rowland in the back court, which is the only time he's really seen rattled all night. And he's made some good plays down there. He's active. I mean, that's what they need right here to get somebody to give him a spark.
20 seconds remaining here in the third. 9-point lead for Avon. Active hands from Smith. Knocks it away from Rowland, but he chases it down. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 2 seconds separating the game clock and the shot clock. Hartke into the corner for Andrew Rowland. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Michael Rowland for 3. No good off the back iron. And that's going to do it for the third quarter of play. We head to the fourth. 9-point lead for Avon. Listen to this crowd here at Letchworth High School. Neither fan base wants to send their team home a loser. And we have a great fourth quarter coming up for you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. This game brought to you by Empire Tractor. We're here to help you grow. 5072 East Main Street in Batavia. You can find them online, empiretractor.com. Also, Maze Photography, best sports photography that Section 5 has to offer. As you see in the corner there, you see a sign for our Coach Dickens near the Oakfield student section. The green sign for Coach Dickens, and conversely, anti-Brasky sign.
Wow.
So they love themselves some Coach Dickens, but not a big fan of me.
I'm not understanding where that's coming from. Maybe because they feel sorry because they beat me in the finals last year.
Maybe so.
I just don't know.
Maybe so. We have a few more sponsors to get to as the game goes along. Brown, corner jumper, no good.
Big rebound right
on
there.
the rebound. Armbruster in transition.
That's great defense again by Rowland.
And it's out of bounds off the Hornets. The Braves will take over here. 7:41 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 9-point lead for Avon. They've seen it grow to as many as 16. And now the Hornets take it away again. Armbruster coast to coast, and he can't finish it once again. Out of bounds off the Braves, but another missed opportunity for the Hornets. They can't afford many more of those here.
Yeah, he's just probably squeezing a little bit right now. I mean, still at 9. I mean, they've got to keep their heads here, especially him.
Inbound goes to Braden Smith. Now Kuzmano bounces it into Armbruster. No good. Put back. And they'll head to the line. Had a tough day in there, but he'll look to help his team from the free throw line here. This trip to the line brought to you by Hudson Street Studios.
Well, with everything how this has went and how his night's been, he's got a chance to get this to their closest lead since the halftime break.
See, I'm getting a little love here, Coach, from Gang Green here. Who needs them? Who needs the Hornets fans? That's what I say. They like me during football season, Dan, I'll tell you that.
Who, Oakfield?
Oh, yeah. Armbruster
Hey,
from
those
the
are
line.
big for him. Now it's a 7. It was 8.5. You know, it's
2 for 2. 7-point lead for the Braves now. They've really hit a slow spot here offensively. And Oakfield-Alabama can smell blood in the water. They keep the pressure on, looking to make this pace chaotic for the Braves. But Harkey, tongue out. Shot goes down, and the Braves back to a 10-point advantage. 7 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter.
That's a big shot right there. In transition, I thought he was a little off balance, but he drains it. That's another answer there.
Kuzmano for 3. Caden Kuzmano knocks it down from distance. 7-point advantage for Avon.
Oh.
These two teams are trading threes. Brown in the corner, back out to Hartke. Down in the lane. Offensive foul. And some emotion from Cameron Kuzmano. Oakfield, Alabama. Sensing the momentum going their way. 6:37 remaining in the fourth quarter. 7-point lead, and OA looking to cut into it even deeper.
I think this is a good timeout by Freeze. The momentum's starting to go a little bit. This is the loudest the Oakfield crowd's been all night. All right, Avon's going to try to match them over here, but I think right now it's just to get them calm down, and that's what Rob's telling his guys, as I can see him in the huddle right now.
This timeout brought to you by the Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York. A couple more sponsors we'd like to get to, including Special Tees in Geneseo. You can find them at specialtees1.com. Victor at specialtees1.com is an email. You're looking for a new apparel supplier? It's Special Tees in Geneseo. Also, Vonglis Enterprises, LLC. Water lines, sewer lines, septic systems, drainage, no job too big or too small. That's Vonglis Enterprises, LLC. And we're back to action here. The final 6:37 remaining in the fourth quarter. It's a 7-point game. Avon's lead dwindling here. Oakfield, Alabama starting to get into the swing of things finally here in the fourth quarter. But is it going to be a too little too late?
Well, there's a lot of time left here. I mean, I think it comes down. I mean, you've seen a couple times when Andrews came down with the ball, instead of being in a panic, he just handles the pressure and gets them all calmed down, and they've gotten some good shots. So, again, when we talk about big possessions here, you've got to get it under 5, get it within 1 or 2 possessions for Oakfield here as we get closer to the end of the quarter or game.
Mono for 3, no good. A little bit too long, and the Braves chase down the rebound.
He just hit one from there. He's feeling confident. That's going to be a block.
A little bit of a flop there from Porter. Brownwood extended the arm, but not enough contact there to warrant the offensive foul, and the Braves will have it on the sideline. Oakfield, Alabama in the bonus here. So
I'm going to tell you, Alex, Larry Swan is probably one of the most respected officials on Board 60. And he's liked from every county that Board 60 represents. And I think somebody must have said the magic word because they're taking an early exit. And I believe he's warning some more.
So a fan has been relieved of their duties from the OA Crazies here. As we'll continue to go along here, 6:05 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Oh boy.
Rowland from the parking lot, and he knocks it down. He nailed that one from the volleyball line.
Well, I mean, he had a big day against Rax in the finals. One of his threes was from a very similar, actually a little deeper when he scored. I think he had 24 in the finals, so obviously he's a confident kid.
Back to a 10-point lead for the Braves. 5:35 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Armbruster near the elbow. Back to Schlagenoff from the corner. No good. Nice box out from Volpe. A foul on Kuzmano, and now a technical foul called against Kuzmano. As emotions running high, he extended the leg in a kicking motion. And a technical foul called against the Hornets. And free throws coming up for the Braves. Costly error committed by OA. And that's going to give Avon a great chance here. And that is Kuzmano's fifth and final foul, perhaps, of his high school career, as he is fouled out of this game here tonight with his Hornets trailing by 10, 5:27 remaining in the fourth quarter of the Section 5 Class C state qualifier. We're here at Letchworth High School. Alex Brasky, Coach Dan Dickens with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. No shortage of drama. May have been a shortage of offense here tonight, but no shortage of drama in what's now a 10-point game with Avon in the lead. Jack Brown misses the first free throw, but he'll have another opportunity here with the crazies in his ear. Brown, 1 of 2 from the line. 11-point lead for the Braves. Time winding down in the Hornets season. A timeout called by Coach Steller, and the Braves fans are on their feet with 5:27 remaining in the game. A few more sponsors we'd like to thank here. Hudson Street Studios, your adventure starts here. 184 Spring Street in Avon. Visit them online, hudsonstreetstudios.com, or follow them on social media at Hudson Street Studios. Also, the Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York, which this timeout is brought to you by the Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York, and also Perryville Inn in Oakfield. So, plenty of fine sponsors here for this Section 5 Class C state qualifier. On the Casella Way scoreboard, it's a 38-27 lead for Avon. Time winding down on OA as the Braves look to advance to the Class C Far West Regional, where they would take on the Salamanca Warriors this weekend. So a lot on the line here tonight. The Braves putting their best foot forward. The Hornets looking to come through with a late comeback as Hartkey traveled off the inbound. Not what you want out of a timeout there.
No, I thought he almost got away with it. I thought it was pretty obvious when he put it down. He got a little head start there. So again, you talk Oakfield here, 5:22 to go, down 11. They have to have a little urgency, but their shot selection's got to be good. I mean, they've taken a lot of 19-foot jump shots. I mean, you've got to have open threes or try to get to the hoop, which is tough with Avon packing that paint every time they start to penetrate.
Inside out, Kuzmano probing for room. Nice spin move, but he couldn't get the 10-foot finish to go. Rowland, like a hot knife through butter through that Hornets pressure, as it has been throughout the night. His ball handling ability has really been a difference maker.
Yeah, that was one of the things I said before the game, too, was how he was going to handle this, because they're not used to having that length and athleticism, and it hasn't bothered him a bit.
Hornets nearly took that one away, but the Braves able to collect the loose ball. Rowland inside. Volpe on the offensive rebound, but Porter rejected it away. Armbruster in transition. Count it! Hoop in the horn for Gage Armbruster. Hornets looking to make a late push with 4:28 remaining.
You know, just like when you think they might be out of it, they come back and make a big play. They can make this, get it down to 8. There's enough time here. They got to really, they got to make this free throw and then try to turn them over or something defensively. Just can't let them run 35 seconds at a pop here.
So Hartkey, that's his 4th foul. He'll take a break. The two Rowlands, Colvin, Volpe, and Brown on the floor for the Braves. Yasis, Schlagenoff, Armbruster, Kuzmano, and Porter on the floor for the Hornets, nearing the midpoint of this 4th quarter as Armbruster makes it an 8-point game. Rowland along the sideline, hands it off to Colvin, and the Braves will kick it back out, looking to burn a little bit of clock here. 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock, 4:10 on the game clock. Colvin inside, Right back out to Andrew Rowland. Down the lane. Knocked around into the hands of Brown, and he knocks it down. Wing jumper from Jack Brown. Boy, is he having himself a game here tonight. 10-point lead for the Braves now. Inside 4 minutes to go. Schlagenoff in the lane. He can't get the finish. Andrew Rowland on the rebound. Schlagenoff, the son of Oakfield-Alabama athletic director and girls basketball coach Jeff Schlagenoff. As Rowland knocks down a three. That hit every part of the rim, coach. When you have it going, you have it going, and the Braves have it going. 13-point lead for Avon, 3:20 remaining here in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, that's just good composure from Michael there, Michael Rowland there. It's hard to believe he's only a sophomore. Like you said, all those sectional titles that he's won, how many big shots he's made in basketball, and that was a big one there too to extend this to 13.
3:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Oakfield-Alabama calls for timeout. We head to a quick break here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game. How can your team stand out from the crowd? Contact Varsity Media today and let us tailor something your squad will never forget. These are the best times of your life. Capture them in the most creative ways possible with the sports leader, Varsity Media. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
All right, and we're back here at Letchworth High School, the site of the Section 5 Class C state qualifier. But we're going to have a delay in the action here as something going on within the Avon student section. Appears to be a health and safety issue, so we hope for the best for who's ever affected within the Avon student section. We're going to take a quick break here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
If you're interested in staying involved with the sports you've enjoyed over the years, we may have an opportunity for you. Section 5 Athletics is currently looking for officials for several sports. Serving as a Section 5 official provides a great way to stay active, contribute to the sports you love, and earn money while making your own schedule. Visit section5.org/officials for more information and to express your interest.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our...
All right, and we're back here at Letchworth High School. A round of applause for the student who has now risen to their feet within the Avon student section. It's a scary moment, but we hope crisis has been averted here at Letchworth High School as we are ready to resume play after perhaps another quick delay as a towel is being brought out. But it does appear as if the affected student at least has risen to their feet and has been ushered away. Continue to hope for the best for them. That's the last thing anybody would like to see here. Inbound goes to Guzmano and a foul. So Oakfield perhaps taking advantage of a little bit of chaos going on here. A quick inbound pass to Guzmano, and now He'll head to the line. Down 13 are the Hornets with 3:19 remaining here in the fourth quarter on the Casella Way scoreboard.
That was a good little slip there on that out-of-bounds play. Coach Freeze instructing the guys to get big here.
Guzmano looking to knock down a big free throw, and he does. Cuts it down to a 12-point Braves advantage.
Little different look on this press here by Coach Steller and the Hornets. He's going to get at an opportunity. He's got to get those 50-50 balls here when you're down 12 with not much time to go.
So Guzmano knocked it away. It rolled out of bounds off of Guzmano, so the Braves will keep it. It's really been one of the key factors for the Braves here tonight, their ability to handle Oakfield-Alabama's pressure. Andrew Rowland, a big factor in doing so, is his ball handling ability, really putting on a clinic here tonight. Keeps the ball low, keeps it tight to his body. As Michael Rowland in the lane finishes, it's up to a 14-point Avon lead. Time running out on Oakfield-Alabama. Armbruster into the lane. Jump stop, blocking foul called against Volpe. And that's going to send Armbruster to the line here.
I think, Alex, at this point, just wall it off. You're up 14. The charge isn't that big of a deal. I know that they're well coached and prepared to do that stuff, but I think at that point, just wall it off. Make them make a tough shot, box them out, and go from there.
Armbruster off the mark on the first free throw, and the free throw struggles continue for the Hornets. Layups and missed free throws. That's really been an issue for OA here tonight.
All right, a little more of this 1-2-2 press.
On the Casella Way scoreboard, 2:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. 13-point lead for the Braves. Casella, your #1 service provider for all your waste and recycling needs. Andrew Rowland to the rim, had it knocked away off of our friend Matt Leader under the basket. Former Livingston County News reporter. A little friendly fire there as he's here watching these teams battle it out in the Section 5 state qualifier. Rowland, a little Steve Nash-esque move there, and now Volpe inside, he's fouled. He'll head to the line. Foul is called against Guzmano. That's his second.
He just doesn't seem to get rattled out there. I mean, right hand, left hand, taking on double teams and stuff. I mean, Oakfield's trying to battle here to make some turnovers. He's rising to the occasion each time. It's a great pass to Volpe, too. Thought it was a good contest there by Guzmano, but nonetheless, Volpe's at the line for two.
Volpe knocks down the first. Volpe, 1 of 2. Rowland with a good box out, and the Braves almost came up with an extra possession, but Oakfield-Alabama will take over. They never quit.
No, I mean, Brown came from about 20 feet away, and then Volpe was a free throw shooter, almost ended up with the ball in his hands. You got to look to go quick here if you're going to make one last run at him.
Armbruster spinning through the lane, kicks it out to Guzmano. Rotation to Smith, no good. Rebound goes to Volpe. And a foul committed by Guzmano, his third, with 2 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter on the Casella Way scoreboard. 46-32. Avon in the lead with Volpe headed to the line for 2 shots. Casella, your #1 service provider for all your waste and recycling needs.
So Oakfield's going to extend the game here, and I think that was intentional to go after Volpe after he just missed a couple.
Smith, another three, no good. He's been cold tonight, and a foul on the rebound, excuse me. It's really been the story of the game for OA. They just have not hit enough perimeter shots, and like I said, to go with those misses inside and from the free throw line, that's a recipe for disaster on offense. Their effort defensively has been there, and tough to say their effort offensively hasn't been there. It's just the execution, perhaps, not there for the Hornets tonight, but Armbruster knocks down the free throw with 1:51 remaining to make it a 13-point game on the Casella Way scoreboard. Hartke waiting to check back in for the Braves as Armbruster finishes 1 of 2 at the line. Rowland with it. Swarmed by Hornets defenders. Brown into the open floor, up ahead to Volpe at the rim. Braves back ahead by 15, a minute and a half remaining, and an offensive foul. One for good measure, as the Braves have been sacrificing the body on defense all night. Armbruster, his third foul of the evening. Fans are headed for the exits here at Letchworth High School, as the Braves, with a 15-point lead, just a minute and 33 seconds away from advancing to the the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Class C Far West Regional. Guzmano commits a foul. That's going to be his fourth, as it's going to be a tough final minute 21 for Guzmano and the other Oakfield-Alabama seniors, Dan. This has really been a fantastic run from this group. They've helped bring Oakfield basketball back to relevance. And as a coach who experienced somewhat of the same reclamation project with your Raiders, just what does that mean for a program to be kind of the first group to bring championship glory back to your city or your town, and to see it all come to a close now? What emotions are running through these players and coaches right now?
Well, I'll tell you right now, when it's like this, and it's going to take a miracle for them to come back and win here, but you know, it's hard. Man, it's a big shot.
Guzmano for three.
It's hard. It's hard. You know that things are coming to an end, and you know, Coach Steller has really done a great job of having Oakfield be in contention the last few years. You know, he's got some good assistants. His JV coach, Mike Anderson, played for me at Cal Mom. He graduated in 2010.
Forgot to mention that connection.
So, I mean, especially like the Guzmanos and Armbruster and Saginaw, these seniors. I'm sure I'm missing one. I'm not trying to do that on purpose, but you know, they got a lot to be proud of. You look at all the people from Oakfield and Alabama communities over there, and you know, and it's said they're hurting just like the players are. I mean, nobody wants to see anybody on this. I mean, it's the same thing if it's Avon, it'd be on this side. But you know, when we go this far and it's win or go home, like, you always seem to have a good team that's moving on at this point, and a very good team too. That the season's going to be over. So it's tough. It's a tough locker room. It's a tough couple days afterwards. But you know, these coaches both know how to handle that, and you know, that's why they're good coaches and good leaders of their programs, and you know, that's why these kids are tough kids too, and they get to the finals.
Seniors for this OA team: Cooper Colantonio, Cameron Guzmano, Gage Armbruster, Jordan Schlegenoff, Caden Guzmano, all set to see their careers come to a close here as they now trail it by 11, doing their best to hang around. Perhaps one last gasp for the Hornets here, and one more run through for our advertisements. We'd like to thank the Ankle and Foot Centers of Western New York, Caryville Inn, Competitive Edge Basketball Training, Empire Tractor, Maze Photography, Special Tees, also Vonglis Enterprises LLC, Hudson Street Studios, and also our scoreboard sponsor, that is, of course, Casella Waste. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens with you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. It's been an exciting game. It's been pretty much all Avon since the early going, but no shortage of drama here at Letchworth High School, and it's really just been a fantastic experience one last time to experience Section 5 basketball. This will be our final time doing so this season, and what a season it's been. A return to full capacity stands here in the sectionals. Not a return to the Blue Cross Arena, but you can't beat a better environment than this.
No, this is an outstanding high school environment. I will tell you, I've been watching the benches during timeouts tonight, and there's one thing that happens with a lot of the teams that go this far is the players with their eye contact on the coach when he's talking. And I've watched, the Oakfield team looking to coach. Everyone's eyes are on Coach Steller, and the same over here when Coach Freeze is talking. All 5 kids in the game are focused on him, and they got the game plan or whatever they're going to do. And that's you don't see that with every team. You don't see that with teams that go this. Or you see that with teams that go this far. You don't see that with teams that really struggle in the season. So, kudos to both coaches, both the coaches and the players for being very coachable.
So we're seeing Cooper Colantonio check into the game for the Hornets. That's really a good point from Coach Dickens. Both of these teams, you really can't find a bad apple in the bunch. Just great kids through and through. They work hard for their coaches, work hard for their teammates, and respect the game and really respect their opponent. I know we saw the one burst of emotion earlier, but really through and through, both of these teams, just great athletes, great representatives of Section 5 sports. And there's really no two teams that anybody would put above them in terms of sportsmanship and all that good stuff. They've really been great representatives, like I said, of Section 5, but also of their schools, their towns, their communities. When you see these seniors for Oakfield-Alabama on that football team, you had the 2 Kuzmanos and Armbruster really leading the charge for that group. And Oakfield-Alabama joined with Elba football years ago. They brought a number of 8-man football championships to those 2 communities separated by just a few miles. But bringing that 11-man football championship back home this year for the Aggies football program, you could just see how special that was for both of these communities. And you look across the gym, how many people are here from Oakfield, Alabama, but you also see faces from Elba here to support the Hornets. And that's really what high school sports are all about. Just family members, friends, and even just community members that don't have any familial or friendship connection to the team, just here because they love their town, they love their community, and it's really what it's all about.
Yeah, and it was tough for neutral fans to get tickets into the games tonight or Monday. I think that's one of the downfalls of playing at a high school. But you see a lot of neutral. I actually see a bunch of neutral fans here tonight. Just came to see a great basketball game.
34 seconds remaining on the Casella Way scoreboard. 4th quarter action, 11-point lead. Now a 12-point advantage for Avon as Hartke knocks down a pair of free throws. So this win for Avon will improve Coach Freeze's record to 233-93 throughout his 15 seasons on the bench, 71% winning percentage. He also coaches baseball, Dan, and I don't know if you're going to find a more legendary coach 15 years in to a high school coaching career. 2 state titles, 1 in baseball and 1 in basketball, 9 sectional titles across baseball and basketball, 3 straight on the hardwood. I mean, does it get any better than Coach Freeze?
I'll tell you, as a coach, and we go to battle every year. I mean, there's not a guy more liked by our coaches in our league. He is such a good guy, well respected by our coaches, well respected throughout Section 5. It's great to see. I've gotten to become really good friends with Rob over the years, and the way he runs things, and the behind the stuff, we send a lot of messages to each other throughout the year, and just how supportive he is of. Because we're a big rival with them, and it's good to see. And that's
Braden Smith with a deep 3 for Oakfield-Alabama, and they'll call one final timeout here with 18 seconds to go on the Casella Way scoreboard. Casella, your #1 service provider for all your waste and recycling needs.
So just to continue that thought on Coach Freeze, there's not any coaches that say a bad word about Rob. That's how well liked he is. It's difficult when you have to go against them, but every other time they go out, and like I said, the way his kids handle themselves is a class act as well.
Now we have Armbruster getting into it with Avon fans behind the bench. situation brewing behind Oakfield-Alabama's players and coaches. And it looks like we may have another fan let go here tonight. I think we just need to get out of here. 18 seconds to go. No need for further emotion, as Letchworth boys basketball coach Tyler King has stepped in to play peacemaker, as emotions running high, and that's to be expected, but trash talk certainly not to be expected, especially coming from parents behind the Oakfield-Alabama bench. Not saying that's what happened, but that's certainly what the Hornets are hinting at here, as we're too far away to understand what clearly happened, but that appears to be what the situation was behind the Hornets bench. So 18 seconds remaining. Braves headed back to the free throw line. And the Hornets seniors checking out for the final time. Gage Armbruster, also Caden Kuzmano headed to the bench. Or no, Kuzmano will remain in the game, but Armbruster will take a break, and perhaps for the final time, as he received a warm reception from the Hornets faithful. He's playing his final game in an OA basketball uniform. Now the Avon faithful can taste it. 18 seconds remaining. Their Braves lead it by 12. A short time away from punching their ticket to the Far West Regional. Colvin, the finishing touches on this state qualifying victory for Avon. Schlagenoff a deep three, no good, tipped out. Smith to Kuzmano. He'll try an inside dunk, no good. Yasis on the rebound, the putback, knocked away, and the Braves are marching on. They are victors here in this Section 5 Class C state qualifier, 56-43. Avon, your winners over the Oakfield-Alabama Hornets. Coach Steller looking at his group, telling them to keep their chins up. They've accomplished plenty over the past couple of years, and plenty to be proud of here tonight. Avon just a bit better, as they let it pretty much pillar to post, and they're moving on to face Salamanca, the Section 6 Class C champion. Coach, your final impressions on really an Avon wire-to-wire victory here tonight?
Yeah, I think just that the start of the game, and we talked about like the nerves at the beginning. Avon got to play on Monday. I know that those coming back with 1 day of practice to prepare for a good Oakfield team is a little different, but Avon seemed maybe just a little bit more composed in that first quarter, a little more loose than Oakfield did, and I think Avon's going to have a heck of a chance against Salamanca on Saturday, but Oakfield's got nothing to feel ashamed of. It was a great season. Kids should keep their heads up, and I know it's always difficult when the season comes to an end.
So that's going to do it here from Letchworth High School, the Section 5 Class C state qualifier. Avon moving on to the Far West Regional. Oakfield-Alabama watches a successful 2-year run come to a close. 2 straight sectional titles for the Hornets, and their seniors emotional with their coaches on the sideline. Thank you for joining us here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens. It's been fun. We'll see you next time.